Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu, pakhair ragale, ni hao, chunashume, washmale, Ohio Gonzaimas, Guten Morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, and a very amazing khush amadi to everybody who's tuned into PT World and watching World this morning on a very rainy day, ladies and gentlemen, alongside the very pretty, the very intelligent, the very amazing Maha Makhdoom and Shazad Khan. Hello, Maha, how are you today?
Hello, Shazad. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm well today, and I'm excited because it's raining. I really, really love the rain now. I've changed. I love it.
Well, you know what happened yesterday? So yesterday when I got back home, so I thought to myself that, I'm going to have a rest day.
Okay.
So I kind of stick to bed. But eventually when I woke up at 8:30 in the evening, I saw it that, it was raining. So I went outside, for a drive.
Okay.
I listened to quite a few songs as well, had a cup of ice cream.
Oh.
And then just got back. So I was
That's
having fun.
nice.
So for all those people who were actually wondering to go out on weekends with their family, I think the weather is perfect. Please make sure to still keep yourself warm as well. And that will help.
And also, if you are going to enjoy the rain like Shazad did, go for a drive, do try and observe the road rules and etiquette and be safe because people, today on the way here, literally in front of me, a motorcyclist fell over
Oh my God.
because ladies were crossing, cars were coming, he didn't have anywhere to go and he didn't want to hit them. So, just do be careful because it's a nice day. You don't want to spoil it.
Because you know what happens when you're happy, so there's this adrenaline rush in you as well. And at times, if you're at my age, you're young, and what you want to do is that you want to drive a bit faster. But it's very slippery and it's not safe for other people in the car and then other people driving around. So please make sure that you drive safely.
Absolutely, but we have a wonderful show lined up for you to end the week. But before that, we have the top stories to share with you. Let's see what's happening around the world.
Let's do it. Good morning.
Fresh, heavy snowfalls and icy blizzards were expected to last Europe today as the region shivers in a deadly deep freeze that has gripped countries from the far north to the Mediterranean south.
Oh.
Yeah, it's snowing a lot.
And
There
it's
was
even
weather warning as well.
And in London, it snowed and it broke the record of the previous 25
Yeah.
years as well.
My brothers had to leave work early yesterday as well.
Peshawar Zalmi beat Quetta Gladiators by 5 wickets in the 10th match of Pakistan Super League 2018 at Sharjah Cricket Ground. 2 matches will be played today at Sharjah Cricket Ground in the 3rd edition of Pakistan Super League 2018. I'm still supporting Karachi Kings. And as we spoke earlier about it, intermittent rain continued in Upper Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan as Met Office predicts more rain with snowfall over the hills in upper parts of country.
Ooh, I wonder if there'll snow in Margla Hills this time.
Well, it did happen, I think.
It has happened, right?
It was at that restaurant, which is beyond the previous one. They wanted to take the name.
I remember my friend also said, she said it was snowing and she was in Kosar or something, and we mocked her like relentlessly, a group of us, and then it turned out it did snow, and so we were made to eat our words. But do enjoy the weather. It's beautiful and it's wonderful for the weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. But now moving on, we've got a very important day to observe. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to share our thoughts about it as well. It's World Wildlife Day.
Yes.
And this time the theme is big cats. And when we talk about big cats, we have leopards, we have got snow leopards, we've got cheetahs. But when we talk about Pakistan in general, it's usually snow leopards. So we are home to snow leopards as well. But before we speak any further about that, because this year it's about conservating them and the breed and it's getting extinct. So we really need to take some measures about it.
Exactly, and I was looking yesterday as well that they were saying that there's a lot of species and animals that will be extinct by 2050. And if we look at it, it's already March of 2018. So 2050 is going to come really fast. We're going to lose all our animals. We're going to lose all these species, and then there's going to be nothing left. So we need to be very realistic about.
And it's basically on 3rd March, but we wanted to take advantage of the opportunity on Friday because we do not do our show on Saturdays. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We want to share a video. Go ahead, take a look, and then when you guys are going to come back, we're going to talk a little about How can we conserve them?
On the plains of Africa, I have been called a king. Along the veins of South America, revered as a god. Across the mountaintops of Asia, a legend. We are among the most powerful creatures to grace this planet, but also the most fragile. For even the most dominant species are inextricably linked to all others. Where our fierce patterns once stalked the darkness of your earliest memories, today our shadows grow still. Will you bear witness to our passing? Or can you envision another way?
A
través de las venas de Sudamérica, adorado como un dios.
在亚洲的山岳之巅，我是传奇。
We humans are the most powerful creatures on this planet, but also the most fragile. For even the most dominant species are inextricably linked to all others. While most of the threats to these magnificent predators are caused by human activity, we will not allow these ancient relics of a wilder time to disappear. The United Nations World Wildlife Day 2018 is dedicated to the world's big cats. With our partners, we are working to make sure they have a future, that the Earth retains its wildness, and that generations to come will still connect with that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this was the voice of the cheetahs and the lions and the leopards and the tigers and all the predators out there as well. And I think that we need to take initiatives to probably raise awareness about it.
Exactly, because if you just look at some of the information out there, 95% of the tiger population has decreased in 100 years. That's 95%. That's a huge thing. And within the snow leopard within Pakistan, you're seeing, before these things, people used to see them, we used to be able to kind of appreciate it. But now, by killing them, by using them for illegal trade, we've destroyed all this beauty.
And I think that the major population of snow leopards, which is actually left within the globe, is in Pakistan, and we really need to raise awareness. And even other than killings and huntings and whatnot, what we need to understand is that not each one of these predators actually like to kill. Please make sure that you do not kill them just for the sake of it or by saying that he or she was actually trying to attack. So
I mean, they're attacking because they're probably under threat, or there's some sort of economic, environmental disturbance. And at the end of the day, you shouldn't be in their space as well. You should respect their space as well as them not attacking us.
And we're going to share the videos in between too as well. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about these predators, they have a natural capacity to lead. Now, this is something which we need to talk about over here, and this is why we are here today. That we are going to talk about leadership, and they have their own clans. They look after their babies, and even then, there's one alpha male who's very dominant and who looks after his own space as well. But other than that, in life, because as you heard that we are humans, we are the most amazing, species on earth, and we are fragile too. But other than that, we have got some roles to play in everyday life, and when we talk about these roles, leadership is the most important one.
Okay, and the thing is, when we hear leadership, we think automatically, political leaders, sports team leaders, leader in some form or capacity towards an objective or in charge of something. But actually, what does leadership mean in our day-to-day lives? What does it mean? Because not everyone is born a leader. That's what they say. Because if everyone was a leader, then we'd have a very interesting world, I think. But in our natural day-to-day lives, we need to take the initiative. We need to lead our life down a certain path or to a certain objective. So what does that mean? How can we become more in control? Does it mean we have more control? So lots of discussions.
So if I ask you one thing, Maha, before we introduce our amazing guests to the audience out there, do you think that anybody can learn leadership?
I think that you can learn the skills needed to lead some. Yeah, I think you can. But I think that natural comfort with it's different.
Yeah. So
that's a complicated question.
I mean, if you're a born leader and then you learn a few skills or tools, I think that you're going to be a better leader. But other than that, if you learn these skills, you're just trying to be a leader.
Well, we have an expert in the studio to discuss this, so we will get him to answer the question because I'm going to need to think about
Yeah.
this one, what I feel about
We'll
it.
ask him. Also on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, he's been on the show quite a lot of times earlier as well. He's none other than Asim Nazir, who's a business leader himself. Hello, assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum salam, and I'm very fine.
Thank you
very
so much for joining us
Thank you
today.
very
Okay, so the question I asked from Maha, do you think that we can learn to be a leader, or is it better to be a natural leader and then learn to be a leader?
Nothing like that if you're a born leader and then you learn leadership.
Okay.
It's an amazing win-win combination.
Okay.
But if you're weak, having weak traits by birth, even then you can develop your leadership.
Okay.
And leadership on a scale of 1 to 10 means if you're born with some good leadership traits and if you develop leadership traits, you can be somewhere 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
But if you're having, low traits, leadership traits by birth, and you are developing, you could be like 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Okay. So you'll never be the best leader.
You know,
Yes,
but I'm
ideally.
sorry that I'm starting my conversation from here. Obviously, we are going to dig down in it, but I'm sorry once again.
Okay, I don't know where
Do
you're
you
going with
think
this.
that anybody who's good looking can make a good leader?
What kind of question is that?
Yes,
I
good
already
looking
said.
could be one of the aspect of the leadership. If
Okay.
you got a pleasant personality,
Yeah.
you look good, you dress well,
Charisma.
charisma, it is one aspect of your
And
personality.
you're all
Okay.
chiseled. And,
Yes, but leadership is inside out process.
Okay.
How better you are from your inside,
Okay.
how better your character you
But
possess.
that's something nobody can see.
Okay. No, but it does. It comes across. So let's talk about this. So we're not talking about any specific field. We're talking about leadership in life for everyone that's just joined us. Now, within life, what do we mean? Let's talk about this. What do we mean by leadership, and what does it mean in away from work?
Okay, leadership is what? Leadership is basically, it is the process. The first we need to understand, it is not noun, it is verb.
Okay.
Leadership is action.
Okay.
It is action oriented. So it is the process of influencing and inspiring people to find out their voice, to find out their inner voice, to find out their talent, what they are really best at, and how they can really inspire the world, what they're really passionate about,
Okay.
and how they can achieve their objectives, and in totality, how they can achieve their common goals.
Okay.
So this is what the leadership. And now, leadership does not mean that the only national and international leaders, political, religious, social leaders, everybody is leader.
Okay.
Everybody's leader can be heading the family of 10, 15 members. He can be the leader, and he can inspire the family members by his actions.
Okay, so now let's break that down further then. Within the family, to become a good leader, to be inspirational to the people around you, what kind of quality,
What traits?
What traits do you need? Yeah.
Simple, in leadership we say that there are 2 C's which are very, very important. One is your character, and second one is your competence.
I thought you were going to say Black Sea.
It's not Black Sea. So one is your character, and second one is your competence. So character is something is made up of your integrity, your maturity, your abundance, your honesty, how truthful you are, how caring you are, being the elder of your family member, as the head of the family. This is your character.
All right.
Right.
And the second one is your competence. That is more relevant when we talk about the organizational leadership or political leadership. So when you are the head of your family, I believe this character aspect is more solid.
All right, so now over here we have a clash, and we're going to talk about it, and that
Okay.
is that over here in Pakistan, why only the eldest one gets to be the leader too as well?
Yes.
Because you just mentioned that, if you're the head of the family, that's how you need to behave. So don't you think that any other younger sibling or anybody else in the family who's not actually the eldest can be a leader too?
No, there are
Because
2
we
things.
have this sentiment within our
there
own
there are
society.
2 things. The one, this is the blessing, and it's the beauty of our society that we respect the elder.
Okay.
The eldest one is being respected the
Yeah.
most, which should be ideally, and we are doing that's wonderful. But leadership is something. Respect is the one element.
Yeah.
Leadership does not mean, I know so many hundred of the people in different organizations and the families, they are not the leader. They're not at the top positions. They're somewhere in the middle, the younger brother, but he's taking care of all the decision making of the family. That's basically the leadership.
Yes, exactly.
So the respect for the elders, leadership is something different.
So leadership comes in when people recognize that you're looking after them, or you're looking after each and every aspect of their life and your own life too.
Yes, your
Leadership needs to be acknowledged.
Yes,
Okay.
leadership is always being acknowledged.
Okay.
For that matter, you don't need to just stand up and say that I'm the leader. Just acknowledge me.
Main kita hai.
No, yes, no one is going to do that. Automatically, the people would accept you and they would own you as a leader.
Okay.
So that's why I say that it is an inside-out process.
Okay, and you've mentioned the characteristics that one needs, competence and character, and being able to inspire people and lead them. But now, how do we build up these traits within ourselves if we aren't naturally blessed with, all the confidence?
And I'm going to add on to that as well. So stick to this question. And that is that we have grown up listening to this quote, and I'll definitely translate it with people. कि इज्जत कह के नहीं कराई जाती. That you cannot say or ask people to, respect you.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
The first part was that as we have been, reading out this story as well, that honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
So it is not something that you read out. The character and these traits you just take from your family members,
Okay.
from your society, from your leaders, your teachers, your trainers. You absorb from the outside.
Okay.
And then you develop your inner self. So if you just read out and study all the traits of the leadership and honesty and integrity, that's how you cannot learn.
Then
You have to directly absorb these from your parents, your teachers, your trainers. So the way parents and the teachers would behave, their children will learn the same things.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is something that you learn directly.
Okay, and I'll let you answer Shahzad's part of the question, which was
That quote, इज्जत कह के नहीं कराई जाती.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do we mean by that?
It is simply as a
I can definitely not ask anybody to, pay me respect, while I'm around. I mean, that's so
yes,
obvious.
wonderful, wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. And as we said, the leadership is about your actions.
Okay.
So your actions speak
Louder than
many times louder than your words.
Words,
Okay. yeah.
So, and if we take a wonderful example, the greatest leader of all time, our Prophet, peace be upon him. So what he did, 40 years, more than 40 years, first he developed his character.
okay.
And then when the people, they start saying that he's Sadiq and Ameen, so then he came up with his philosophy. So this is at the first step, you develop yourself as a leader.
Okay.
And then the people will automatically accept you.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about, about this development. But now, within the briefing, we did touch upon this servant leadership as well. What do we mean by servant leadership?
It's the best of all the concept is this servant leadership.
What is that?
They say that if you want to lead, then learn to serve.
Okay.
Remember, God is serving the human beings in the first place, and then He's expecting us to do something.
Okay.
So, as a leader, we have to serve the people. Now, the trick is, and what we really miss when we become the head of the group or organization and
We
whatever.
stop working.
Yes, we stop working and we start behaving right from the first day as that we are the leaders. Our attitude, or we keep some distance from the people. That's not leadership.
Okay.
The serving, what actually means, you understand the needs of the people. You understand the behaviors and the emotions of your people.
Wow.
You learn from them, you observe them, and then how you can really help them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
now
that's what the serving is all about.
Okay, so now this is one concept that I think, within Pakistan, we are very hospitable, people are very kind, but we don't have this concept of servant leadership.
Or kindness. Yeah, because over here we do have this.
There's something missing.
Yeah, we do
So
have this
these
concept.
are the two things actually. Hospitality is a different thing.
Yeah. But kindness is a characteristic of a leader always.
Yes, is one of the characteristics of a leader. Now, what we are talking that we are missing entirely this concept in our different areas of leadership.
Okay.
There is absolutely very rare you would find this servant leadership. Most of we are entirely different.
This is
When
where I
we
was
become-
going. This
Yes.
is where I was going, that, when we are kind to people and we want to help them and we want to fulfill their needs by Allah's will, so then we get to hear this, I mean, it's not at all a compliment, it's a very harsh statement, sar pe hi chad jate hain yaar. That, then people overdo and
They
then
take
people,
advantage.
they take advantage and then they expect more from you as well. So then I think leader is somebody who needs to maintain a balance. We'll definitely talk about the personality of a leadership or a leader, but right now we, ladies and gentlemen, have to go for a short break, and this is how we lead the show with our own choices.
Well, you're leading right
Good
now.
morning. No, we both are. And that's a good question. Can two people be leaders?
Yes,
This is very important. You put your-
Okay, welcome back, everyone. And before the very short break, we were discussing leadership within a normal, general day-to-day capacity, because leaders aren't only political leaders, leaders of sport teams or bands or whatever. We need to lead in our lives to get to the place we need to. But we have discussed the slight characteristics that we need. But
And
we'll get
yeah,
into
the
that
slightest
further.
were there, but we need to talk about more as well. For example, we did talk about kindness, that people respect you. Then we talk about actions, and then we talked about serving people and their needs too as well.
Okay.
Now, finally, because we have to wrap it up as well, are there any other characteristics to a leader's personality?
And before the break, Shazad mentioned, can two people lead? So let's...
Shahzad also mentioned a very important point, and that was a very important, that when you are serving people, they expect you more and more.
Yes.
Yes.
So the leaders and the serving leaders, they have this great combination of personal humility and professional will. They are very, very, very disciplined. They follow some protocols and discipline. So if you don't have any disciplines and protocol, then the people, they expect you more and more. But once you set the proper guidelines, humility is something different, but professional will and discipline can make you grow like anything.
Okay, wonderful. And so now, professional will, these are all like different characteristics one needs as well. But now the final question that Shazad asked before the break, within a household, even within a team, can there be more than one leader?
Yes, there can be. I mean, leadership is nothing that the two leaders, they cannot sit together. Why not? Means it's not an entire formula. Means it's sort of synergy. The two people, they can lead if they have got the good harmony. If they develop good teamwork, yes, they can lead. What they can do is that they can delegate the things. This is one style of leadership, that they can delegate the matters. These two, three things, I'm responsible, and you take care of 2, 3, 4 matters. So that's how, with the delegating leadership style, there can be even more than 2 leaders.
Can there be a team of leaders working together?
I don't know what situation means, a
I mean, any
hypothetical
situation you can come
Well,
across.
you do. You
though.
have these international
Actually, it depends on
organizations.
situation. Means what situation we are talking about. Is it in any organization? No. In politics? No. In any team? No. So give me a situation, and then I'll tell you that.
Okay, yeah, that's just a too generic of a question.
No, this is not how it is. For example, we do have some global epidemics, right? And we do have some global issues. We do have some global problems.
Yes.
This is where people call in leaders who are actually experts in certain defined fields.
Yes.
And they're like, okay, let him do that, let her do that, and I should probably step out because I do not know the area myself. And I think that can be a very great solution to any problem which is existent within the globe right now. No?
Wonderful,
agree.
and there are so many international forums.
Yeah.
They talk about the environment, they talk about the economy, leaders
And they
from
bring in
you know,
those people who are experts.
leaders from the different areas. They talk about the solutions, and yes,
Thank you very
situation
much.
is
Excellent. Great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
It's
very
been
much
a
for
very
calling me.
interesting conversation. And, you know, these are all characteristics that we can build on, and it will make our lives easier. And one thing that I did notice is that in any part of our lives, making sure that we have boundaries. Don't overexert yourself. Don't go out of your way, which makes you then feel resentful or
Exactly.
uncomfortable. That way you maintain your boundaries and your leadership, and yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah, because leadership does not really mean that you actually have to forget your family and remember all of those people who pay you respect or
Exactly.
hate. So please, you know, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up this segment, but we do have a small clip to share with you guys. And when you guys are going to actually come back, we're going to change the conversation.
Exactly, because spring is arriving, and so we need to be prepared with what spring is bringing. So let's have a look at our clip, and then we will tell you what we're going to be discussing.
Let's do it.
Grass growing, flowers blooming, trees growing new leaves. But if you get allergies, this explosion of new life probably inspires more dread than joy. Step outside, and within minutes, you're sneezing and congested. Your nose is running, your eyes are swollen and watery, your throat is itchy. For you and millions of others, it's seasonal allergy time. So what's behind this onslaught of mucus? The answer lies within you. It's your immune system. Seasonal allergies, also called hay fever or allergic rhinitis, are a hypersensitive immune response to something that's not actually harmful. Pollen from trees and grass and mold spores from tiny fungi find their way into your mucous membranes, and your body attacks these innocuous travelers the same way it would infectious bacteria. The immune system has a memory. When a foreign substance gets tagged as threatening, white blood cells produce customized antibodies that will recognize the offender the next time around. They then promptly recruit the body's defense team. But sometimes the immune system accidentally discriminates against harmless substances, like pollen. When it wafts in again, antibodies on the surface of white blood cells recognize it and latch on. This triggers the cell to release inflammatory chemicals, like histamine, which stimulate nerve cells and cause blood vessels in the mucous membranes to swell and leak fluid. In other words, itchiness, sneezing, congestion, and a runny nose. Allergies usually, but not always, show up for the first time during childhood. But why do some people get allergies and others don't? Allergies tend to run in families, so genetics may be one culprit. In fact, errors in a gene that helps regulate the immune system are associated with higher rates of allergies. The environment you grow up in matters too. Being exposed to an allergen as a baby makes you less likely to actually develop an allergy to it. People who grow up on farms, in big families, and in the developing world also tend to have fewer allergies. Although there are plenty of exceptions, partly thanks to genetics. One theory is that as children, they encounter more of the microbes and parasites.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that was a small clip about spring and then allergies, which are related to the weather itself, but where, you know, spring comes along with quite a lot of colorful flowers and trees and leaves
it's
and whatnot,
beautiful.
and there's these allergies too as well. And I certainly know, because I have a few friends who actually go through pollen allergy, that life's not good in this time.
Exactly. And to be honest, mine have already started. So let's get the conversation started with our guests, because we have a lot to discuss, and we'll find out how can we do like preventative measures and how can we best prepare ourselves.
Exactly. So on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by a senior physician who's known by the name of Dr. Wasim Khwaja. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us. So this is the time, and over here in Islamabad, we do have that type of trees with which you can get pollen very easily as well. So what do we need to be prepared for?
Well prepared for pollen allergy, and every patient who suffers from the pollen allergy, he or she knows that now the season is coming.
Yeah.
And CD has also worked a lot. They have cut down the trees of 10,000,
Yeah.
but it will take 30 to 40 years to cut all the trees which are causing pollen allergy in Islamabad. In the PIMS, we are seeing more than 50,000 patients in the whole spring season.
Right.
And free, we check them free, they give them free treatment. And basically, whosoever have the allergy must come to see the proper doctor before the starting of the symptoms, because they can start the medicine before any
Exactly.
symptom.
So let's talk about this. So when is the season approaching, or has it already approached? Let's start with that
It's
question.
it will take 1 or 2 weeks,
Okay.
and it will start
So do you think that it's a better idea to take precautionary steps right now?
right now. Right now.
What are those
Yes.
steps?
Steps. First, go to the doctor, start the medicine, anti-allergy, because basically there is a defect in the defense system which causes all these things. And whenever they go outside, they must avoid unnecessary going out, especially in the evening. Or
Stay back
afternoon.
at home.
Yeah, mostly. And when they are home,
Maha?
they close the
I
windows.
do. I don't do anything. Okay.
Stay at homes and close the windows and AC with HEPA filter. Yeah. And when they go outside on the bike, they must have the glasses, mask, and hats and helmets.
Right.
And when
So does it just get worse by just breathing it in, or it can be from the eyes or the
it
ears
is
too?
different symptoms. Breathing in from the nose, throat, there's a cough, sneezing, watering from the eyes, and asthma, difficulty in respiration also. And plus, when you are at home, don't use your clothes outside. When they are going to outside, and there is also pollen.
Okay.
Fall on the for dryness. They have to use dryness in the home. Use the
Okay.
proper machine for dryness, and you don't use the carpets, because and plus anyone who's coming to home, you must remove the shoes. Don't take inside the home, because they also gain the pollen. Plus there are any animals. They are also been full of pollen, because their
Roaming
grass
around
is
here and there.
around here there. And when you are going to many places where the pollen is more, must wash your head and have a bath at night and change the clothes and wash the clothes and wash the beds and cover with the anti-allergy.
That's a lot of effort.
Yeah, there are a lot of things you have
Okay,
to do,
and-
but very simple. You can apply.
Very simple, but a lot of effort. But on that note, let's share some more home remedies with you and see what else we can do to prevent the symptoms from getting too bad. Let's have a look.
Good one.
Okay, so I'm going to be trying most of those when I go home this weekend. But now, it's not just the. Do you drink green tea? Do you get allergies?
I don't get allergies.
Oh, okay, lucky.
Alhamdulillah. But there's no fixed age to get allergy too as well. So
Yeah, I
you
developed
never
mine.
know, God forbid. So nazar na lage.
Exactly, no. I would not want that to
Yeah.
happen to you. But now let's talk about that. We just saw some home remedies to help ease the symptoms and, the kind of uncomfort that gets created.
Yes.
But-
If these things someone feels better by drinking this, it's better. But the one thing is clear, that everything doesn't suit everyone, whether
Yes.
there's a disease or not. If it suits you, you feel comfortable, you can use it. And if it gives you trouble, and anything can give you trouble.
Yes. Okay.
Where it's good for health, but can give allergy also.
Right.
So must avoid if you are eating anything or drinking anything and it aggravate any symptoms.
Okay.
Because it can have a seasonal allergy, aggravate the seasonal allergy sometimes. It can have a stomach allergy also. It can have intestinal allergy. Then you have to stop it.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so-
now, wait.
yeah,
Sorry, I
go
just want to ask. If these natural things are being, aggravating you now, coming to the medical and the medicine aspect of it all, what kind of thing? When should one start taking the antihistamines or the nasal sprays? Because everyone's got a different
And
story.
before we do that, there's one last thing which I wanted to ask, and that is that we over here in Pakistan are very keen of testing somebody else's meal, or probably having a sip of juice from somebody else's glass of juice. So do you think that pollen can be transferred like this too as well?
No, not.
Or if somebody is already infected, can it get worse?
No, if pollen is shifted, then if you are suffering from pollen allergy, otherwise it's not a disease. If someone has pollen allergy, the other one will also have pollen allergy. You can use antihistamines before the start of the symptoms. That will help in prevention of symptoms. And when the season starts, you can use any oil, olive oil or any mustard oil in the nose with the fingers, so that the pollen doesn't stick inside. And when it stick inside with the skin inside, then it starts the symptoms. You can prevent the symptoms. These are the simple steps and prevent many patients. But the main thing is to must have a balanced diet, aloe vera gel, because it immune system is strong then, and it works good. When it not good working, then pollen allergy starts, because the body system identifies pollen as an enemy. They start working against the pollen, and then the symptoms develop.
All right, but what are the other allergies which we need to be very careful about with this weather?
Many allergies, cold water if you take, there is a problem. Any fruit any vegetable can, and plus dust, they can also cause these allergies.
Exactly.
There are many things which are throughout the season.
And wonderful. And on that note, not wonderful, this is not good. I mean, but on that note, we do have some more foods to avoid if you suffer from allergies in the spring season. So let's have a look at what you should try to avoid if you suffer.
Look carefully. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, as far as I can remember, it's tomatoes, it's bananas, it's yogurts, it's raw foods, it's mushrooms, it's
everything
I mean,
good.
it's almost
basically.
everything. I mean, and you know, by raw foods, obviously, so then it means that in spring, if you suffer from allergies, make sure that you do not eat anything raw.
Well, make sure you don't eat anything tasty from the looks
Or you
of
don't
it.
just eat anything.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to lose a lot of weight this season, guys. But anyway, on a serious note, let's get some final pieces of advice from our expert guest. Any other advice you'd like to offer our viewers regarding this pollen season, which is already, for me, it's a purge because I already suffer from my allergies. So what can we do, especially with the itchy eyes? You know, that's really annoying.
All these symptoms are due to allergy.
Yeah.
So you must use anti-allergy with the proper time. And don't be afraid that you are using and you will be suffering from any other disease. So must start before the symptoms start.
Okay.
So that then whole spring season will be much better.
Okay, and but
this
just
is a simple step, but will cover all the symptoms.
But I just want to clarify, because just for anyone who's just tuned in, the antihistamine tablets that one takes, should one start taking that pre-season every day?
Yes.
And then use the nasal spray for relief, or is it the other way around, that you use the nasal spray every day and then take the medicine for
No,
relief?
you just take medicine before the start of the symptoms.
Okay.
And whenever the season is going to start, then you can use, I mean, you know the pollen has started. You can see the newspaper or television, the pollen has started, this much is amount, and start inhaling all these things.
Okay, according. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. And a lot of information out there, guys, for you to look after yourselves and also for us to starve because we can't eat anything now.
Yeah, but what I'm going to say at this point of time is that, you know, ladies and gentlemen, by the end of the day, whenever we suffer from a disease or an allergy, it's about how willing we are to get better or to get rid of that allergy as well. So please make sure that you take all the initiatives which Dr. Saab mentioned. Stay back at home the maximum you can, and obviously, you know, one has to work too as well. One has to feed their own self and then the family. So you definitely have to go out, wear a mask, change the mask after every other alternative day, because I've seen people wearing that mask for 2 months. And imagine that if you were out with that mask might have caught pollen as well. So please just don't do all of these things and be very careful.
Yep, exactly. And Shazad summed it up perfectly. It's just little preventative measures that you can do to make your life easier. And with that, if you want any information or you want to get in touch with us or give us feedback or suggest guests, anything, do get in touch with us on our Facebook fan page.
Which is with the name of World This Morning.
Our Twitter page.
World This Morning without a G.
Our Daily Mission and YouTube
World
page.
This Morning, World This Morning.
And the repeat is
11 p.m.
Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you bright and early on Monday morning.
Till the next time, 1, 2, 3, good morning. Thank you.